All right guys, so today we're gonna be talking about the Atomos Ninja phone. And I'm gonna be honest, when I heard Atomos Ninja phone for the first time, I thought, oh, Atomos is making a phone? It's actually a device that holds your phone. And it's really cool. I'm gonna show you everything that you can do with it. But first, let's do a quick unboxing. So looking inside the box, they kept everything pretty minimal. Of course, you get the Atomos Ninja device. It includes a USB-C video cable. So this is the cable that's gonna connect directly to your iPhone. Then you have an additional USB-C power cable. Now, I was surprised to see, especially for its price, that they do not include an HDMI cable. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the physicality of the Ninja phone. So up here towards the front, this is where you actually mount your phone. It's got a little height adjustment depending on the type of phone that you're using. So obviously larger phones, you're gonna have to actually use this. Now they even have an attachment for an iPad, so you can get that. Of course, that's sold separately. Now towards the back, we have an NPF battery slot, which is pretty standard on most monitors, but you can also power it using a USB-C port, which will also charge your phone. Now the way this works is actually very simple. It takes the HDMI signal from your camera, so this is why you have an HDMI in, so you plug your HDMI in, and then it converts the signal using USB-C video out. So this connects now to your phone. What's great about it is that even though it's sending the video feed to your phone, it's also powering your phone. You have a USB-C here for accessories. So if you want to mount like a microphone or something like that, and it even gives you a little cold shoe up above, so you can mount that accessory up here. Now, the way I have this mounted to my FX3 is they have a 1/4-20 mount on the bottom. So I'm actually using a Condor Blue NATO rail. And I like this because I'm able to quickly just slide this in, and using their top handle and also their NATO to NATO rail mount, I'm able to have this on my FX3. Now, the way I would mount my phone now, just to kind of show you guys, is I would take my phone. Now, I do wish this had a little spring loaded because it is a two-handed operation. So basically what you do is you lift this up, kind of tighten that into place, and using these little thumb screws, you kind of lock that into place, and then that's basically it. Now, we're going to go ahead and connect our HDMI. Now I'm using a right angle Condor Blue HDMI cable. And then back here, I'm using a dummy battery. And the reason being is because I do have V-mount power. So I prefer having a dummy battery with my V-mount here. So I'm using a D-tap. And of course I've got the Mondo ties to keep that cable management nice and tidy. And while we're over here, let's go ahead and put our USB-C cable. So now I'm gonna use the video out. And then I'm gonna go ahead and connect this here. This is a locking USB-C cable, which is very nice. So you can see it locks into place. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just connect my USB-C to my iPhone here. And now we're pretty much ready to power this on. So now that we got through the physicality of the Ninja phone, why would you want to use such a device? Well, I think there's three key features. The first one being that if you use this with like an iPhone, you have one of the best monitoring tools available. The iPhone display is just incredible. I'm using the iPhone 16 Pro, and this thing has up to 2000 nits of brightness. So viewing this in broad daylight will be no problem. The second reason is this is a connected device, meaning I have internet. So if I'm trying to do stuff like camera to cloud, if I'm trying to do some live streaming, I'm able to do this with this phone. The third thing, again, being a key feature, is this also has a storage device built into it, which means that I can also use this as a recorder. So let's talk about those three things. First of all, being the display, the monitoring display. So if you guys have ever used an Atomos product or any of their monitors, you know that their user interface is amongst the best. They have a really great user interface that's very intuitive and very easy to use. And you can see it here. As soon as I tap on the display, I'm greeted with a bunch of little icons. And if you've ever used an Atomos device, you can tell what those icons mean. Now, for those of you that are not familiar, I'll give you a little quick tour of just exactly what all these little things means. I'll go into settings because there's a bunch of them, and you can see here, focus peaking. I can flip my display. There's scopes, there's guides, false color, aspect ratio, anamorphic, de-squeeze, zebras, audio meters, and info display. All of those are laid out towards the bottom. I can also disable them. So if I don't want to see all of these, maybe if I just care about anamorphic de-squeeze or maybe peaking, I can lay this out however I want to use this as a monitor. Okay, so now if I want to turn on peaking as an example, I just tap on the display, easy. Very easy, and it works. As you can see, peaking has been turned on. Now, very intuitive, as I mentioned before, if I hold this down, you'll see that a sub menu pops up. So now I can see, well, my peaking seems a little aggressive. Let me lower that. So now it's a little bit more easy to see. Also, maybe I shouldn't use green as a peaking color because there's a lot of green here. Maybe I should use something like red. So I go ahead and change it to red or maybe white. Again, very easy to use. And if I just tap on the display, tap it again, it's now gone. My peaking is enabled. But now let's say I don't need peaking anymore. I can quickly disable. What if I need to rotate the screen? I can go ahead and do that. So now I rotate the screen. I can go ahead and even flip the display if I have it inverted, if I'm doing like vertical content or something like that, or I can just quickly disable it. Or what if I'm using guides? Again, because this is an internet connected device, I'm gonna do a lot of my content. I'm gonna record a lot in 9:16. So I'm focusing on my FX3 for 16:9 content, but I'm using my phone, my Ninja phone for 9:16. So I can bring up these frame guides and I have it right now for 9:16. I can also hold down this frame guide and I can just change the settings. For example, if I want to make it a little bit thicker or actually regular, I had it on thick. I usually like it a little bit thicker. Or if I want to change the frame guides to square, if I want square content, maybe I'm doing this for, you know, another type of social media, I can go ahead and do that. Or if I want to have my thirds, if I'm just using this as a regular 16:9, but I want my rule of thirds, I can go ahead and do that. If I want to check my false color. Again, most of the key features that are available on Atomos monitors, you'll be able to see here also on the Ninja phone. Now let's talk about the internet connectivity. Remember, this is an internet connected device. So you're gonna be able to connect this to your Facebook, your YouTube account, if you wanna do any live streaming, or also Twitch, which is amazing. But what really is exciting for me is the whole camera to cloud feature, because that's the reason why we're here. We're actually filming with Filmmakers Academy, and we're able to deliver fast 9:16 content, 16:9 to their editors so that we're able to pump out this really quickly here. And what's really awesome with this particular device is that as soon as we hit record here, it's actually already uploading this video file to the cloud, and it's doing it in real time. What I mean is, it's not waiting for me to hit stop record and then it uploads the file. It's actually doing it as we speak. So as soon as I hit stop record and it sends that file, again in real time, they already have it over there on this side. They're probably wondering, what are we filming over here? So that's the internet connectivity portion of it. Now remember, I also told you that this is a recorder. So not only is it sending that file, but I'm also recording it here to the phone because, again, this has a storage device. So if I go into my settings here, and if I go to video format, I can select SDR or HLG content. I can show the video orientation, so depending on how I have my phone orientated. But I also have here the codec. This is the important thing. So I can record ProRes 422 proxies, I can do 422 LT, 422 or 422 HQ. And it does this in 4K. So again, output resolution. So either match the input, which is 4K, 720, 1080p, or 4K. So now whatever I have my settings here as my output, which is 4K, they're gonna be able to receive that. So again, if you're a person that's kind of looking for a system that pretty much does it all, I think the Ninja phone is a pretty solid device, and I feel like Atomos has something here. I really love the fact that you're able to record in 4K. I think that's what really sets them apart from like other companies that are trying to do something similar. And obviously the user interface, I mean, that's like Atomos' signature thing. Very intuitive, very nicely done. So yeah, I'm a fan. I want to know if you guys would buy something like this and if it's something that you are interested in. Let me know in the comment section down below. My name is Armando. Thanks again for watching, and you will catch me in the next one. Adios.